Morning, YouTube. I decided to shoot a little video this morning because I did get a question on one of my other videos a while back where somebody asked me what I used to dye the cobs. They had used a stain and said the cob had a off taste to it. Now, I never did find out what they used on their particular cob, but they said they aired it out and it was fine. So I figured I'd just shoot a little quick video for any of you guys that are thinking about doing something to your cob, your corn cobs, either just a simple color job, or if you're really going to get into the bowl shaping and other such things. What most people use and what I use are just like you would use if you're doing a briar pipe, and that would be leather dyes. I would think that if you get your hands on any kind of leather, or not leather, but alcohol-based dye, that should work. The reasoning for that, the only thing I could really think of is just because one, it dries faster and it doesn't have that smell to it like regular wood stain would. But for the actual reason, I really don't know why we use leather dyes. For me, one is the smell factor, and it dries a lot faster than wood dyes do. And for the most part, I would think the only thing that's really in there is just probably pigment and then the alcohol as, the liquid that they mix it into, or the accelerant, whatever you want to call it. The kind most people use are this one. This is the only bottle I have of it. And it's in the black. Stuff is very inexpensive. I would guess it would depend on your area. You can probably find these pretty easily. Otherwise, they are online. I've never ordered any online. I'm thinking about doing it because some of the colors I want I can't get around here. But the problem I have with sometimes ordering stuff online is sometimes the shipping costs just as much as the product. But this is just your normal run-of-the-mill leather dye. The other kind I do use is this. It's a weathering mix. And this I had prior to the time when I started doing cob modifying. This you can find, where I found it was in the hobby store in town in the miniature train section. It's actually, it's leather dye. It's just thinned out quite a bit. It's for making, if you got wood projects, it makes them look kind of weathered. This happens to be my blue one. I have blue, black, and brown. The weird thing is this actually costs more than just the leather dye itself, but it is, it's twice as much as far as quantity. This is 8 ounces and that's just 4 ounces, I believe. Yeah. But if you're gonna go that route, I'll explain the difference. And this, you're gonna get a darker, richer color to it. The thinned out stuff, you're going to get more of a wash effect on your cob. Going forward down the road, if I pick up some different colored leather dyes, I'll probably just get the alcohol and thin them out myself rather than buying any of that, because it just makes more sense than paying twice as much for a thinned out leather dye. On the normal leather dye, like on this cob, I did it solid black. You don't have to do it. It's just going to be, like I said, a darker color. You could actually put a color on it and sand it, and you'll see more of the kernels poking through. But on this one, I wanted to do a solid color. And if you want to do a solid color, how I did this is I did my shaping, did my plastering, and then sanded it smooth, sealed it with lacquer. I do lacquer on all my cob pipes, and then put the color on. Because to spread something this heavy, if you do it real heavy, it'll start to seep into the bowl as the kernel or the cob will start to kind of suck it up. And to do something to this level, I was just worried about so much dye getting into that bowl. There are times you're going to get a little bit in there. Nothing that I think will hurt you, but I didn't want that much in there. Because you'll notice even if you get like on the Country Gentleman's and a couple of other ones that are rusticated, I don't really think they care a whole lot when they dye some of those sometimes, but you'll notice a little bit in there on them. nothing that hurts you. But like I said, if you're gonna do like a solid color, I would definitely seal it before I applied the color, before you got too much in there. Now, on the thinned out ones, you're gonna get something more like this, where it's just kind of more of a wash, which I actually kind of like that wash look. I've done it on a couple of my pipes. So this would be just more of a wash. It kind of just gets in there and does a, so it wouldn't be called grain popping. We call it kernel popping. That sounds like popcorn. But, so that's what you kind of get with those. Another good example is this here. This is a handle for a turkey striker for a pot call. And I haven't finished it up yet, but that's kind of the effect you'll get on wood. So if there's any of you woodworkers out there and you want to, actually you have projects that you want to make look weathered, those thinned out alcohol leather dyes actually do a really good job. And if you mix sometimes the blues and the browns, you actually get kind of an interesting color. So it's a real quick way to make something look aged. But those are the two I use. Definitely I would not use any kinds of wood stains. They are going to give you that off-putting smell, and they're going to take a long time to dry. And and there's going to be sealers and all kinds of other stuff in there that I don't really think you need or want in your cob, especially if it was soaked all the way through. Like I said, for the most part, I believe leather dyes are probably just a pigment and then mixed with that alcohol. So you not only dry faster, you're not going to get that off-putting taste when you start smoking your cob. I hope that helps any of you guys that were curious. For you guys that have done it, this is probably nothing new to you, but that's all I got for today.